So this figure recently restocked on Amazon, which is pretty cool. I ended up picking it up to check it out, and I like it. So it's the Ultimate Edition Ultimate Warrior WWE figure by Mattel. Ultimate Edition line is their higher end line with higher articulation, more accessories supposedly, and more detail, I guess. So what they're really advertising here though is the articulation. And I feel like the articulation on their regular releases are pretty darn good. I guess what they add here is basically butterfly joints and maybe some double joints. I don't know. I don't have any other WWE Mattels to really compare it to, but from what I'm seeing here is stuff that I see standard in like Marvel Legends and stuff that I collect. So I'm not really impressed just because I'm already accustomed to this type of release as a regular release for regular figures. So I don't know, but it does look good. So let's check it out. I like the box art, pretty cool. Side of the box we have Ultimate Warrior, of course, and on the back side we get Ultimate Warrior and life image and then an action figure image. Read up reads, perhaps there was no superstar who personified electricity more than the face-painted man from parts unknown. With the power of the warriors running through his veins, he exploded out of the curtain, charged down to the ring, and trampled his opponent like a raging elephant. The Ultimate Warrior was totally out of control. So this figure really does bring back memories. It reminds me a lot of the classic Superstar Series 1 Ultimate Warrior by Jakks Pacific. That's old but not gold. Those figures were really lackluster. I know they were okay for their time, but honestly there were better figures around in that time too. Anyways, this figure is pretty cool, I must say. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. I think Mattel does a great job with their wrestling figures. I'm not a huge wrestling collector at all. I don't really own any wrestling action figures. I have some AEWs, which isn't Mattel, but they're pretty cool as well. And you can tell that they're kind of looking at what Mattel does. It's very similar. So overall, this figure is cool. I just don't know if it should be classified as an ultimate release. I don't know. I feel like if you're really gonna advertise it as ultimate because of the articulation, um, I don't know if it's worth $32.99. Jeez, I know it's an exclusive to Amazon, but $33. Now the regular ultimates in stores are $29.99. Still a lot. I don't know, 30 bucks. And what I'm getting here is this figure. You can see the title belt, the Intercontinental Champion on his waist. I already put it on there. Really cool. I like the paint apps there, and it's colored. And then we have an alternate head sculpt. So we got the painted head sculpt, which is the one I'm clearly gonna use for the display. And this one's completely unpainted, which is kind of weird. He didn't really come out unpainted. What would have been a little bit better, especially since it's ultimate, is if it was unpainted, but kind of like he's in the middle of the match and his paint's rubbing off, and you can see a little bit of paint and the rest of it's rubbed off. I feel like that would have been a lot better for the alternate head. But completely unpainted, I'm definitely not going to display it with that. And then he also does come with the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, 2 title belts is very cool, but is this why they call it an ultimate? Because, oh, he comes with 2 title belts, and I'm sure not every figure comes with a title belt. And maybe they make these as like a prize for going ultimate. I don't know. I don't buy it. But it's a cool addition to the Intercontinental Champion that he does come with. And then, last but not least, 2 hands, or 2 alternate hands, 2 fists, I should say. So we got 2 fists, and we got the open hands on the figure right now. Overall, I feel like this should be like a $25 figure, to be honest. Maybe not 20, but 25. 30 bucks is just pushing it. He should come with a lot more. If you want to go to 30, uh, give him soft goods. Give him something else. I don't know. Another head sculpt, maybe. Really don't know, but maybe it's just this release. I think I've seen other releases from the Ultimate line that come with a lot more than this. So maybe it's just this release. But overall, those are my gripes. So let's take a look at what I feel is good about it, which is a lot. So here's the body mold, and it's pretty darn good. Phenomenal. I love it. I love the paint on the torso, the details on the trunks there, the knee pads, the shin lassels, or whatever you want to call it. The boots, pretty cool. And then the backside. Now, I'm starting to get spoiled by Marvel Legends and their pinless joints, and I really hope that Mattel gets into the pinless territory, and everyone does with the pinless stuff because their pins are massive. Look at those giant pins. I love that the knees are covered up. You can still see the pins there, but uh, these are not so covered up. Maybe when you put these little, ribbons or lassos over it, it covers it up. Not a huge deal, but I come from collecting a ton of Marvel Legends, and that's the new candy for us is the pinless joints. So that would be cool to see that incorporated with almost every line domestically now from now on. All right, so the head sculpt brings me to my final gripe here. It is great, don't get me wrong, but the hair um, doesn't allow the head to move down. I can push it down, but then it kind of goes back up, and then it's a little loose on mine, which I hate looseness on figures. I don't like that, but he tends to always look up because of the hair. I push it down and he holds it for a little bit, but any subtle movement and it's back up. So I wish the hair, at least the bottom piece, was a little bit more pliable so he could look a little bit more down. But overall, it's not a big issue, just a small gripe. But the paint apps on the face is awesome. This thing looks great. Mattel is making the best wrestling figures for sure, hands down. And I can see why they still have the license. That loose head bugs me, gosh. But overall, this is great. Let's take a closer look at that body paint here. This is gonna happen, I know, but I wish it didn't. But the pink paint, the yellow paint, it's missing at the very very deep end of that crease of his pecs, which makes sense. I mean, it's hard to paint, but I wish it was painted. I don't know, but I get it. I get it. It's hard, and it's hard to see, so it's okay. If you crunch them back, the paint does continue on to a certain extent. If you go super far back, you're gonna see nothing. But I don't think you're gonna go that far back, anyways. But what's kind of weird here is that they ended. You see the border, the black border of the logo of the design. It ends here, and then it ends here again, which shouldn't. If they're gonna cut it here and have these kind of like combined, they should not end it up here. It should just be like these here. That makes sense. Small gripe again. I guess that's for like if you bend them forward like this, then it's still okay. But I don't know. I'm really nitpicking here, but this is what I do. It's my review. Here's the logos on here, which are super clean, and I like those. There's knee pads, super clean. But man, this attire is so nostalgic. I saw this go back in stock, and I had to buy it, and I had to review it too, just because I want to. And check them out. Any wrestling fans out there, drop a like down below and comment down below if you're a wrestling fan. I don't actively watch wrestling, nor am I the biggest wrestling fan, but I did watch it a lot as a child, and I still love the classics. I love the legends, and these attires, these classic attires, man, and these figures are awesome. These look great. If they make some more legends in the Ultimates line and even the regular line that I like enough to buy, then I will. I'm not gonna go down the deep rabbit hole of these for sure. I'm not gonna do that, but I will get some that look like these, some cool ones. So anything that catches my eye like this one is worth picking up. There goes the head again. Gosh, that is probably my biggest gripe of the figure. I could live without the pinless stuff, and yeah, if the joint here was stronger, that'd be a lot better. But unfortunately, mine's a little loose. That could vary figure to figure. But anyways, this is a very different review, as you can tell, because I don't really review wrestlers. So let's just proceed here as I normally would to the articulation. So the head, we saw it. It's on a ball jointed peg. It's not a hinge or anything. He looks up, I guess. Not really. But he will be looking up a lot more than looking down because of that looseness here, at least on mine. It looks left and right just fine. Head tilting, not really. Arms are going to go all the way up, all the way around. We have butterfly joints. These are very stiff. I wish the neck was this stiff. But very good range overall. Pretty dope. Look at this. I like that. And goes forward. Pretty well. Give somebody a bear hug. Then we have a bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows. We have a swivel at the wrist with a hinge. Diaphragm joint at the torso, forward and back, in and out, swivel. Swivel at the waist as well. Legs go forward about that far, they go back down, they go in and out. Then we have a thigh swivel. There goes that. These are pegged in by a peg, and they will pop off. Easily pops back in though. We have a double jointed knee. Of course, these knee pads are going to hinder, but honestly, they don't hinder too much. He still hits a 90-degree angle, which is fine by me. And then we have a boot cut shin swivel. Nicely done right here at that cut. Ankles are very stiff, like almost non-existent, but they do have hinges. They're so stiff they don't hinge, at least on mine. And then we have a ankle rocker, swivel, no swivel. And then we have a toe hinge. Oh, that's an ultimate. But yeah, a toe hinge there. Alright, so I hate to do this to you guys, but I literally do not have another WWE wrestling figure or wrestling figure in general. This is it right here. I have Santana from AEW because he's Puerto Rican and he came with a super awesome Puerto Rican flag, and I'm Puerto Rican, and that's why I bought it. But this is all I got to compare next to Ultimate Warrior, wrestler and wrestler. I know, weird, but hey, I don't really review these things. So you know what that means. It's just going to get weirder from here on out. We have Spider-Man 2099, Biomazco 112. You can just see the scale does stand around 7 inches, I would say, on this line of Ultimates. Alright, Black Series up next, and that's even shorter. And Marvel Legends just because. Alright, so like check this out. They made this figure before as a regular, normal release, not Ultimate, and it looks very similar. There's no butterfly joints, and it looks like there's only single jointed elbows. But it still looks darn good. And he comes with a one title belt for $20, at least at this point. This thing was $17.99, but it shows right here on the bottom. That's a good offering, and double the price for this because he's got double joints and another title belt. I don't know. He doesn't come with the head. He doesn't come with the hand, so I can see that. But then again, this figure right here is a regular release. 2 hands, a separate head with that paint rubbing off like I was wanting. That's pretty interesting. And he comes with that yellow Intercontinental title. So everything that he comes with, except not the extra title belt for $22.99. So yeah. Alright, so that's going to do it for this review of the Ultimate Warrior from the Ultimate Edition line, Amazon exclusive by Mattel. Overall, pretty cool figure. I know this is old and everything, but I'm just doing this review here for fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If not, then it is what it is. But I will still appreciate any comments down below, and hit that like button because why not? Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always, take care, take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.